If you lose your job because you're not vaccinated, this is your own fault. It's a hill you've chosen to die on. Possibly literally. By being selfish. A health risk and not caring about the countless others you put at risk. Sometimes one must sacrifice their personal whims for the greater good. No sympathy on this sub. We are anti-work, not anti-vax. After 2 years of this shit and heavily detrimental impact on society, you would think people would get their heads out of their $s and think of someone besides themselves. But no. And this is why the pandemic rages on 2 FCKING years later. Aren't you all tired of this? I am. I am exhausted by it. I hate wearing a mask, but I wear it. I didn't like getting vaccines, but I got them. Getting tested is nerve-wracking. We should have been further along by now. That is not even to speak of the hundreds of thousands that got sick and died. Families losing their loved ones. Sorry for the rant. Just so burnt out on the pandemic being front and center for so long. Only to have boneheads refuse to comply with something as simple as a vaccine. Even if it means their jobs or their health. COVID killed my best friend in the world almost a year ago to the day. She got sick the month the vaccines started rolling out, but never got the chance to get vaccinated because she was on a vent in the ICU for over 6 weeks. She always was the one carrying hand sanitizers and extra masks when the information first came out about COVID. She would tell everyone, "I don't want to die from COVID." It was so ridiculous in the beginning. People would yell at her telling her how horrible she is. All because she appeared slightly Asian, and the dumbass idiots where we live got on the hatred wagon against anyone appearing to be from where the virus originated. My best friend was the most kindest and hard-working lady you could ever meet. She would have gotten the first vaccine if she could have. I fucking miss her. I put my dad in a box August 30th of 2021. An otherwise healthy man. This shit is not a joke. The rest of my family, mother and sister, won't get vaccinated. Myself, my wife and kids are all vaccinated. We haven't contracted COVID. They both have. The amount of shitty misinformation out there is painful. The newest rants from them is how they're gonna lose their jobs if they don't get the shots. Freedom. Blah blah blah. My response. Verbatim. Don't ask me for a loan. This shit is mind-boggling. My brother passed away from brain cancer 7 years ago. It was long, nasty, drawn out. We all went and saw him constantly. Helped take care of him, etc. I told my mom there is no fucking way she would have let people go around him unvaccinated while he was in hospice care. She said, "Yeah, but he's already dead. So apparently fuck every other person out there with a pre-existing condition." My brain is always on full-blown explosion mode with them at this point. Sorry this turned into a rant. Just makes me mad we haven't stepped up as a whole yet in our society. What pisses me off is the fake vaccination cards. If you honestly believe that the vaccine is dangerous, then have the backbone to own your choice, instead of trying to cheat and lie about it. Anyone else notice that all the anti-vaxxers on Fox News who want everyone back in school and the workplace are all in little boxes on the screen indicating they're on Zoom working from home and protecting themselves? I got COVID 2 weeks ago. I'm vaccinated, but it feels like being hit by a train. I experienced the worst sore throat ever, as well as other symptoms. Shit is no joke. Be safe, fellas. It would really help if the patent was waived on the vaccines. Medical advancement like this that was funded by the government shouldn't have been patented in the first place. The more places that can make vaccines, the more that will be distributed. The more people that are vaccinated, the fewer new variants we will get. Doesn't seem like that difficult of a concept. My wife and kids are immunocompromised to a point where they can't process medication or receive vaccines themselves. Everyone who gets vaccinated helps protect my family because we literally can't protect ourselves. Because of this, I say thank you to everyone who gets vaccinated and follows quarantine protocols when necessary. You all are the reasons my family is still here. Someone once told me, in any argument, ask the other party what evidence would change their mind. If they cannot answer, the argument is not worth having. I have permanent heart damage from COVID over a year ago. I can't exercise in any real way. And I used to be an athletic get-it-done type. Now I can't even finish mowing the whole lawn. I always wore a mask. At times too. Washed hands. Wiped down groceries. Stopped going out. But where I live there are tons of anti-vax, anti-mask QAnon Trumper nutjobs who proudly declare they won't be told what to do. Freedom isn't free? Brainwashed losers. I lost a few clients when I told them no mask equals no lesson. Already made them back up. I will make no compromises at my job. Period. And when you ask people why they're not vaccinated, there's never a coherent logical response. It usually revolves around the fact that they have no idea what's even in it, they say while eating a burger from McDonald's with a million preservatives in them. My brother was a junkie for years. He would shoot up or take anything. He did not care. He would overdose like almost every day. He was trained as a machinist. Apparently it's something he's really good at when he's not high. But after years of being a junkie, he gets clean with Suboxone. He gets a good job doing his thing at a major shipyard union. Then he got into QAnon. So he refuses to get the vaccine. He doesn't want anything weird in his body. He was about to get fired, but the union goes on strike for something unrelated, so the whole thing is up in the air. But if they try to make him get vaccinated, he's going to quit. And probably immediately go back to shooting up Oxy. Honestly, I can't stand how many vaccines we've wasted over this nonsense. We should have been giving the vaccines to other countries. But whatever. Now the whole world knows that America is filled with gross, dirty, nasty, unhygienic dicks. I'm not trying to defend anti-vaxxers, but the virus isn't going anywhere. There was just recently a new variant just discovered. Vaccinated people will decrease the amount of people going to the hospital, and it has. But COVID is here to stay. But vaccinated people absolutely can and will spread COVID if they get infected. More care than getting a vaccine needs to be put into this. Actively being safe and careful should also be at the front of your mind. It will reduce the symptoms, but don't think for a moment you can't give it to another person once you're vaccinated. Rant mode on. I've done everything I'm supposed to. Wear the mask. Social distance. And was double vaxxed at the time. Boosted currently. Went on vacation this previous summer, which included flying. Wasn't thrilled about the idea, but was masked up and vaxxed, so we have to try and figure out life in this new environment, right? Well, 3 days into my 14-day vacation I get a breakthrough case. End up spending my entire vacation essentially alone in a hotel room. Am I mad that the vaccine wasn't 100% and my vacation is ruined? No. I'm pissed when I return home and people still don't want to do this simplest damn thing to protect anybody else. I sacrificed my first taste of freedom, my personal fucking time, to try and keep everyone else safe. Apparently it worked. No one I was in contact with on vacation got sick. I get back to work and people are quitting because they don't want to wear a mask again? All while companies are just handing out vaccine exemptions like candy because they don't want the liability. Go to hell. My sympathy is gone for anybody who can't think outside of their own personal well-being. Rant mode off. I am in Brazil, where we have a unified public health system. My city has 103% vaccination rate. I think these things are directly related. People are most likely to take medical advice from their doctors. In the US, people do not have regular access to doctors. It's a disaster. This whole, I lost my job because I'm not vaccinated, thing sprung up after the media started writing stories about this sub. Never saw it before. Clearly this is a tactic being employed to try and divide us. It won't work. You won't get any sympathy. No, vaccine requires monthly inoculations. Because vaccines are not disease. On the other hand, a virus which mutates very frequently and renders the overhyped vaccines impotent. The unvaccinated are of no threat to the vaccinated. The vaccine does not stop transmission. Those that have been vaccinated, the efficacy of those vaccines wanes around 6 weeks. We are asked to stay away from the non-vaxxed not because they are a threat, but because if they catch COVID from you, their symptoms might be more severe, thus sending them to hospital. Just curious, as vaccine rates are higher than ever, so are cases? I believe maybe the vaccination isn't helping as we believe, since I am vaccinated with booster, got corona and was still able to pass it on to my family members.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.